Hello, welcome to a very special episode of Crimson Artist Audio Reviews. My name is Rochdata, and welcome to a very Rooster Teeth-centered episode. Yes, I have no movies to review right now. If you want to read my reviews for Shin Godzilla and The Accountant, they'll be on my Facebook group, which is, once again, like always, will be in the description below. But today, this weekend marks the season finales for the following shows on roosterteeth.com: RWBY Chibi, Red vs. Blue Season 14, and their brand new IP, Crunch Time. And as you all know, I am a massive supporter of Rooster Teeth. Hence why I wouldn't be even doing this review. I wouldn't have mentioned how many times I freaking love this company. I love every single thing about these guys. What they do, they inspire me. They honestly do. But not everything I believe they do, not everything they do is always going to be great. Not everything is perfect, as much as I would like to believe. But the cold hard reality is nothing isn't always perfect. But whenever they do get something right, they get it right. Okay? Wow. The past, I don't know how many months was been nothing but complete awesomeness. Complete awesomeness. To be completely honest with you. Like, the stuff they were showing throughout the entire summer from May till now, I didn't know, I wasn't even expecting to like what they were giving us. But I loved it. I enjoyed Season 14. I enjoyed RWBY Chibi. I even enjoyed Crunch Time. But there's certain setbacks via two shows in particular, which I'm about to bring out, which I thought could have been better, and hopefully if they do something like this again, which they're most likely going to do it anyway, maybe they can take these words into heart, which they most likely do. They listen to their fans. That's the other thing about this company I love about. They listen to us. Anyway, I gotta stop mumbling. I'm just gonna jump straight into RWBY Chibi. Now, RWBY Chibi is a small sub-series to the main franchise that is RWBY, RWBY. And it was made, this show was particularly made for one specific reason. It acts as an antidepressant to that of Volume 3. Now, how do I explain this? When RWBY first came out, it was very lighthearted. It was basically a way for us to get into this universe, understand these characters, get used to where we are. And the animators themselves are also trying to struggle their way. It seems like they're trying to find their place here within the show. I mean, what they've done in that first volume, it's incredible, but it's not the best. It's definitely their weakest entry out of all the stuff they've done. RWBY Volume 1 is definitely the weakest. There are many plot holes, many inconsistencies in terms of the storyline and its animation. The animation was very clunky. It wasn't perfect. And if I were given the chance to go back in time and review Volume 1 and give it a final rating, I would probably give Volume 1 a solid C+. There were a lot of good ideas in play, but there wasn't anything I didn't feel compelled to come back. That was the problem. It didn't make me feel compelled to come back to watching RWBY again, like what Red vs. Blue does. At the end of each season, no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard they try to end a solid, good storyline, you are desperate for more. That's how you do it. and I wasn't too excited for Volume 2 to come out, and I didn't even watch Volume 2 when it first aired. Like, I don't know what, like, I was busy with college. I had other stuff to do than look at RWBY, to be honest. But then, until I heard about the passing of Monty Ohm, and that really sucked for me in general, because this man, like, I don't know, I felt like I betrayed him by not giving it another chance. And and it's been years since Volume 2 came out, if you really get down to it, but ever since then, I never really gave second chances. I was like, okay, one is enough, there we go. That was always me. This was like before Volume 2. This was before Ben Affleck as Batman. This was long before now, pretty much. And I never gave stuff a chance. But ever since Monty's passing, I felt like I betrayed him in a way. And I decided to, you know what? I'm going to give it another I'm going to give RWBY another chance. And RWBY Volume 2 came, well, it was like a year after. It was in the middle of Volume 3, actually. And I decided to, you know what, let's just dig right through. Let's see what I've missed. And Volume 2 wasn't bad. It was definitely a much better season than that of Volume 1. It had I had more understanding of the characters. It made me fall in love with Yang, and the dance scene, the dance number in Volume 2, that was hilariously amazing. The stakes were definitely high in Volume 2. I really liked Volume 2. But once again, it doesn't necessarily grab me, like, it didn't really strike me as something that I would see again, like Volume 1 was. But then the moment I finished off Volume 2, I immediately started Volume 3, including the World of Remnants. And Volume 3 was the ideal volume. This is how it should have been from the very beginning. One, the animation quality of Volume 3 was top notch. It was a massive step up. The coloring, the lighting, the animation became so smooth and very coherent. The storyline went dark. It was definitely a much darker turn, and they nailed that successfully. The stakes were higher than ever, and by the very end, I was crushed. In fact, a lot of fans of the series felt destroyed by RWBY Volume 3, and Rooster Teeth thought it would be the perfect time, and it was the perfect time, to release RWBY Chibi, which is basically, it's a spin-off. Once again, it's a spin-off to this show. It's non-canonical. It doesn't serve anything but to make you happy. Like, you can sit back, relax, spend 3 to 4 to 5 minutes on your Saturday watching these characters in chibi form doing crazy, hilarious things. It's so funny. And that's what RWBY Chibi is really meant to do. It isn't really supposed to further the storyline. That's the main series. This is just an antidepressant. And they succeeded very, very well. Now, a lot of people went up in arms that that they're using a 3D animation as opposed to other chibi shows based on popular animes. But, and here's the thing. It makes sense for RWBY to be 3D animation because RWBY in general is 3D animation. So you might as well, keep the formula going within the same franchise. If the original series is meant to use 3D animation with motion capture and whatnot, then the chibi version should practically do the same thing, but in a different sort of light, a different style. And the style is definitely different, but similar in the same way. The characters in the chibi version, some of them are very much like the original series, like Blake. for the most part, Blake and Weiss, Yang, pretty much like a lot of characters are like their original series counterparts. But then we get RWBY, who's basically like, yeah, don't fuck with me, don't mess with me, or I'll mess with you, that kind of way. She's a bit of a recluse, and John being sassy as hell in this series. He like, yeah, there's a lot of similarity and differences between the Chibi version and the main series version. The jokes were really well done, were well on point. Like I said, it's nothing really important. If you wanted to see it, if you're a fan of RWBY, no doubt you're gonna be watching this. You're gonna probably pick up the damn Blu-ray one day whenever they decide to announce this. I'm definitely gonna pick up the Blu-ray. I love this show. I love these guys. Of course I'm gonna pick up the Blu-ray. But it wasn't that important. Kind of. It kind of is important, especially since the main series is going to a much more darker route. You might want something to help ease the pain. You can either watch RWBY Chibi, but since RWBY Volume 4 is coming within 6 days from now, from the moment this video is put out, there's going to be a ton of sadness and stuff. But there's also other shows and movies you can look out for, like, say, The Flash, or, I don't know, Supergirl? I mean, those are lighthearted. You might just take a look at that. If you feel depressed by the ending of a RWBY Volume 4 episode, just watch those. Or you can just simply watch a rerun of RWBY Chibi. It is online, after all, so you can just do that. But overall, the final verdict for RWBY Chibi is a solid A-. The animation, it's hard to get used to at first, but then I'm like, okay, this is perfect. This is like they made me feel comfortable. But then it's going to be like months later on when Volume 4 ends with all the depression and stuff, and they're going to have to reinvigorate us with happiness and sunshine with this series. It's going to get hard to get back to this. It's going to be weird. I hope the Team RWBY, if you will, does whatever it takes to make sure the transition from the main series to Chibi and Chibi to the main series, I hope they do something about that. That's what I hope. So it's a solid A-. The animation is really, it's hard to get used to, but then it gets going. The characters are funny. The show, like, the jokes are well on point. The skits, it's short skits, but they're really well put together. I got nothing else to say, but it's a solid A-. Well done, and Rooster Teeth animation, absolutely well done. But where would we go? Where would RWBY in general be without? Where would Rooster Teeth in general be without its original series, Red vs. Blue? Red vs. Blue. If it weren't for Red vs. Blue, there wouldn't be a Rooster Teeth. If there wouldn't be a Rooster Teeth, there wouldn't be a Red vs. Blue. End of story. This show has been going on for 14 years. That is crazy. And oh my goodness, they should keep going. They should never stop with this show. No matter how hard you try to move on from a franchise, especially like this, no matter how hard you try to end a story arc to any aspect of this franchise, you can't move on. You're desperate for more. And when I heard that they were going to do an anthology season, I was like very, very skeptical, to be honest. Same thing with RWBY Chibi. I was like, how are they going to do this? Is this going to work? RWBY Chibi certainly worked. But what about season 14? Season 14 has nothing to do with the original series. That's a fact. It's an anthology season, actually. Kind of like how RWBY Chibi is basically to help ease our pain, to that of Volume 3. Season 14 is basically the same thing for Red vs. Blue, because Season 13 ended on a pretty sad note. Not completely depressing. They still probably won in the end, but spoiler alert for those who haven't seen Season 13, which, by the way, why? Go watch Season 14. It's up on Netflix. Both RWBY and Red vs. Blue are on Netflix. You can also go on their YouTube channel. Go watch Season 13. In fact, watch the entire... It's going to take a while. Don't get me wrong. But it's worth it. Trust me. It's worth it. It's worth going through all that. Season 13 ended on such a really sad note. And I'm still eager to know what happens afterwards. I really am. And when I heard that they're doing an anthology season, I was like, God, why? Do we have to wait till what? Season 15? Or 16? I don't know when they're going to come back. Maybe it's season 15. I'm pretty sure it's season 15. I got to go back and check. But like, and seeing as today is the final day of RWBY Red vs. Blue Season 14, I can safely say that this worked. Season 14, the anthology season, worked really, really well. It was so cool to see different minds and ideas being put out there. There's a lot of innovation being presented here, and I am definitely happy to see these ideas there. For like we got to know more about Felix and Locust from from seasons 11 through 13. We have a lot of we have these new characters that we didn't really get to explore. We got awesome episodes like the Meta versus Carolina Death Battle. That was awesome. Like there was a lot of really neat episodes. It's like I earlier in a separate video before this, I made like my thoughts on season 14 so far, where I uncovered episodes 15 and 16, which I still believe is my two of my favorite episodes of the season. But then more episodes came to fruition as the series came closer to finishing up, and I can safely say that I still loved it. I loved every single episode. I loved every episode. But yep, there was a but. Yeah, in a Rooster Teeth review, there is a but here. There wasn't a whole lot of episodes where I can easily look back on and say, yeah, that was awesome. Don't get me wrong. There are plenty of episodes that still made me do that in this particular season. But there wasn't a whole lot to say, you know what? Okay, say that was amazing. I could easily go back and watch that again. But does that make the whole season bad or good? It's still a great season, okay? It's just that in episodes like episode 13, Gray versus Gray, or let's see, from Orange is the New Red, or those kind of episodes where they show brand new soldiers that have been given good writing. The dialogue is always fresh in these in Red vs. Blue, especially in this anthology season. The dialogue is super fresh. I love the dialogue, but the characters aren't really that memorable, simply because they're only there for that particular episode. There isn't more of characters from the Gray versus Gray episode. There isn't, because they're not that important. We spent 13 years spending with Griff, Simmons, Church, Sarge, Tucker, Caboose, Donut, Tex, Carolina, Washington. You spent so many years getting to know these guys, and boom, there come these new characters. Who are you? Why should I give a fuck about you? I don't give a fuck about you because you're not that relevant. That's what I'm saying. If you're like, try to make sure, if Rooster Teeth, listen, I love you guys, okay? But if you're gonna do another anthology season, which I hope you do, to be honest, this was pretty freaking sweet. If we're gonna do something like this and have an episode where it features characters we've never really met before, try giving us a reason to care about these characters, you know? Like, you can give them great dialogue. You can give them the best dialogue. You can give them the funniest dialogue. But it's not always going to help make these characters all that memorable. The best episode in regards to what I'm talking about is the episodes written by Shannon McCormick, episodes 21 and 22, The Triplets and The Mission. These two episodes were really well done. I love these characters. I want to see more of them. They're still out there. I would love to know more. Hopefully in season 15, the Reds and Blues of Project Freelancer managed to actually bump into these lost agents. That would be so cool. Think about that. How cool would it be if they met these new guys? That would be so cool. That way, we can actually get a chance to know more other than those two very, not long, it's not short, nor is it long, it's fairly decently timed episodes. But I guess that's my major gripe for this season. There's nothing else I can say. If I have to give a top 8 list of episodes that I truly loved, number 1 would be episode 15, Caboose's Guide to Making Friends. As you know, I love that episode dearly. It made me cry like a baby each and every time I watch that episode. I'm like having so much fun, and then depression. Then episode 2 came. The second on my list would be episode 24, the final episode of the season, Red versus Blue versus Rooster Teeth. This was like, if I thought Deadpool or Nora from Chibi was bad at fourth wall breaking, this is a whole other level of what the hell? This was a crazy episode and the perfect way to end the season. Perfect way. Absolutely incredible. Then number 3 on my list is episode 23. Don't worry, it's not going to be, top 24, 23, no. 23, the immersion episode with the Warthog flick. That was unexpected. I was not expecting an immersion episode, to be honest. Though I am waiting for a Red vs. Blue and RWBY crossover. Let that happen! But episode 23 was amazing. Loved that episode. Episode 20, which was the RVB Throwdown. For those who don't know, this was actually shown at RTX 2016, where if you were at the RWBY panel, you would have seen this and enjoyed the shit out of it. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Number 5 on my list would be episode 16. Episode 16, Headcanon, the one written by the gorgeous Barbara Dunkelman. I just love the fact that she made one of the funniest and most badass villains of the show. She broke him! You broke Omega! How dare you, Barbara! God damn it! Sorry. Yeah. Number 6. Meta versus Carolina, Dawn of Awesome. Love that BVS reference in the title. That's nice. But that episode was awesome. If you're a huge Death Battle fan, Screw Attack fan, you're definitely going to get a kick out of this. Especially with the whole Sarge and Boomstick. Yeah. Season 7. I mean, crap. Number 7. Room 0. This particular episode, yeah, this was shown way a long time ago, but even before this season came to fruition. I was like, oh my god, I've seen this before! Awesome! 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 Awesome. Absolutely awesome. And my 8th favorite episode of season 14 is episode 17, Get Bent. This one made me lose my shit. The moment I saw it, I was like, okay, wait, what? 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 Yeah, that's... yeah, so those are my top 8 favorite episodes of season 14. Great season. Like I said, it's a great season. There was these episodes that I just named out. Really, really loved them. But there were a whole lot of other episodes where I was like, oh, I didn't really like... I know I should have added the Felix and Locust episodes here, but as much as I love those two characters, they didn't really grab me, and if I'm going to be completely honest with you. Great animation style, great storyline they were presenting, but I didn't necessarily have the need to go back. You know what I'm saying? The best kind of episodes are the kind of episodes that make you want to go back and watch and enjoy them. Those are rewatchable episodes. When you say that, you know that the creators have done their job, and they've done it beautifully. So, my final verdict for Red vs. Blue Season 14, with great ideas being thrown here, great episodes, like the ones I just mentioned, my top 8. Though there are a few episodes where the characters I felt needed a little more time for me to be devoted to. That is something that they need to work on if they're going to do another anthology season, or if they're going to try to incorporate some of these ideas in the main series. Please take them to heart. If you're going to introduce brand new characters, give us a reason to like them. Miles Llewellyn, I know you can do it. You've proven that time and time again already with episode 15. With the Chorus Trilogy, you've proven to create brand new characters in this franchise and actually make me give a fuck about them. So my final grade for Red vs. Blue Season 14, it's a solid A. Definitely a well done... Actually, should it be an A? Or... Actually, you know what? That is a little too fair. I'm being too fair, and I'm sorry. I should not be... fuck it, it's an A. Okay, all jokes aside, my final grade for Red vs. Blue Season 14, it's going to be a B+. Yes, it's a B+. I wanted to give this an A, to be honest. I really did. There are a lot of good ideas and a lot of good episodes being shown, but some of them did not really make me want to go back and relax and just watch it on my own accord. There's nothing else I can do. So there's nothing. That's all I have to say. Also, going back to RWBY Chibi for a moment, there's another thing that kind of disappointed me a little bit. There's a lot of characters from the original series, but there's a few that I just felt I would have loved to see them in Chibi form. They've had the opportunity to be in Chibi form, but I don't know. Maybe RWBY Chibi will do that someday. Maybe they'll come within a dime or a penny.
God damn it, Bart!
Anyway, let's finish this episode off with Rooster Teeth's brand new live-action web series, Crunch Time. Crunch Time is about 4 college students coming together to explore dreams. Not like Inception, where you plant an idea inside of another person's head, but you just give other people the opportunity to just relax and enjoy their memories and have them explored. It's like I've read this somewhere that Crunch Time is basically Inception meets Weird Science. And when I first heard of that, I was like, that is like the best summary for Crunch Time. And it is exactly that. This is a great show! Each episode made me speechless. And it is, I want more. Andrew Disney. This is to the creator, okay? This is to the creator, Andrew Disney. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this, please, I need more Crunch Time. I really do. This was a fantastic series. You see, the thing is, I've heard, like, all throughout last year, I was hearing about Rooster Teeth coming up with a bunch of brand new content about Day 5, RWBY Chibi, Red vs. Blue Season 14, and Crunch Time. It was like, and their documentary series. And Crunch Time was like one of the few things I did not even like expect to enjoy. I was like, I've heard about it. I was like, I might give it a chance. I don't know. And the moment episode 1 came out, I immediately fell in love with this series. The moment the title track came on, this is magic. This is absolute magic. And each episode they brought up these Rooster Teeth is known for great characters, great dialogue, great stories, and absolute hilarious circumstances. And that's what Crunch Time is. This is a welcome entry to the Rooster Teeth family. This is a great show. I can't think of anything wrong with this, to be honest. Day 5, as great as of a show Day 5 was, there was a lot of this. Okay, this is me going like I know I gave Day 5 a pretty high grade. But there, like, if I were to go back, I would say there wasn't necessarily anything, like, it's a great horror series. But I felt like that particular series was like borrowing elements from Breaking Bad and Walking Dead. And those were obvious. And those were easy to like, okay, this is way too much like that. But Crunch Time, even though it is clearly a Weird Science plus meets Inception, they hide that in a really good way. It had that level of intriguement and the science fiction aspect to it. The fact that they were being interrogated and there was a massive twist in the end. I want to know more. I want to see more. I love Crunch Time. And I personally believe, I humbly believe, that Crunch Time is by far Rooster Teeth's best work in years. I am 100% serious on this one. I love everything about this show. From the writing, the directing, the cinematography, the freaking music! The music is... It's like... It's eargasm! It's awesome. It's absolutely incredible. I don't know. I can't say anything bad about Crunch Time right now. It's my new... I'm gonna miss this show. I want there to be more Crunch Time. If there's gonna be another season, I am so gonna see it. I'm gonna watch the hell out of it. and give you... I'm also going to... Of course, I'll give you my thoughts on... Hopefully season 2, please. I can't say anything else. It's a solid A+. Every single episode, each episode kept getting better and better and better and better. And it makes me like, you know what? I don't even want to do this anymore. I don't want to review right now. I actually want to go back and watch all 6 episodes. That's how good of a show. That's how great of a job these guys have done. Andrew Disney, Bernie Burns, Matt Hullum, everybody needs to be commended on an incredible project. And as a fan of Rooster Teeth, A+. Seriously, A freaking plus. I said this before, that the reason why I love these guys isn't because of their content. Their content is great, but it's the effort. If you put effort in your projects, you're going to get a success. And I saw nothing but effort being put into Crunch Time. There's a lot of effort being put into RWBY Chibi and Red vs. Blue, that's for sure. But I felt like they had more commitment here. And that's why I'm giving it an A+. It's the commitment, it's commitment. It's the commitment and effort that needs to be commended here. And I am incredibly happy for these guys. My name is Raj Chetta. Thank you for listening. And I hope to see you guys soon on another episode of Crimson Artist Audio Reviews. Okay? Please subscribe, hit like for more, and I'll see you soon. Bye.